In the deepest corners of the web, a ghost is hunting you. Do you know how easy it is to lose everything with one single click? Meet Conor. To the world, he's a ghost. To the FBI, he is a digital nightmare known only as Pompompurin. His fingers move with a malice that the law can't track. Every keystroke is a breach into a life he's about to destroy. He doesn't see people. He only sees data. He only sees targets. He's watching, and he never blinks.
His world is small, a room that smells of stale caffeine and cold static. But his reach.
This is The Breach, a marketplace for stolen lives. And today, he just put yours up for sale. He thinks he's untouchable. He thinks he's invisible. And for a long time, he was right. But when you play in the dark for too long, the shadows start to play back. Something else was in the room with him. The trap was set, not by him, but for him. The predator was about to become the prey. This was only the beginning of his fall. The game of cat and mouse has just turned deadly. Are you ready for what comes next? When a hacker thinks he is a god, that is exactly when the devil takes notice. He watched the news of his hacks, laughing. The FBI had absolutely no idea who was behind the mask. Every taunt he typed was a violent slap in the face of international law enforcement. The money didn't even matter anymore. It was about the power, the absolute control. He thought he could buy his way out of anything, but the dark web exacts a toll in blood. He even hacked the FBI's own email servers just to send a fake warning. Pure, sickening hubris. But a digital empire built on arrogance is fragile. All it takes is one wrong click. Was it a rival hacker? A buyer? Or was the hunter finally inside the house? The arrogance evaporated, replaced instantly by the chilling grip of terror. He was no longer a king. He was just a terrified boy, waiting for the door to break. Paranoia is a disease, and once it infects a hacker's mind, the end is already here. Watch the walls close in. There is a specific kind of silence that happens right before your entire life shatters. Have you ever heard it? The typing stopped. The breathing stopped. For a moment, the whole world simply ceased to exist. A sound outside the room. Was it the wind? Or the heavy boots of the inevitable? A sound outside the room. Was it the wind? Or the heavy boots of the inevitable? Something was moving in the hall. The darkness was closing its grip. The physical threat outside was nothing compared to the digital death sentence on his screen. His encryption was cracked. The ghost had a physical address. And they were already there. Destroy the data. Pull the plug. Kill the servers. Panic replaced protocol. He checked the window, hoping to see nothing. Praying to the god he just mocked. Nothing out there. Maybe it was just paranoia, a glitch in the system, a trick of the mind. But the mind doesn't flash in red and blue. The nightmare had just become real. There is no undo button in the real world. The raid is about to begin. Don't look away. There is a specific kind of silence that happens right before your entire reality shatters. Have you ever heard it? The glowing screens were no longer his only source of light. The reality he tried to escape was parked right on his front lawn. He reached for his master controls, but the authorities were one step ahead. His access was completely revoked. The knock wasn't polite. It was the sound of consequences finally catching up to him. All the arrogance, all the taunts, all the stolen money,
Please, I didn't mean any harm, I swear. Stop!
The dark room was instantly flooded with light. The shadows he hid in were violently stripped away. He offered no resistance. The keyboard warrior was brought back to the physical world, face first against the wall. The sound of those restraints locking is something he will hear in his nightmares for the rest of his life. In less than 3 minutes, the empire was dismantled. He walked out of that room, leaving his entire identity behind. The room went quiet again. The boy was gone, but the machines were still breathing. His digital footprint was erased and replaced with a warning: the ultimate checkmate. The king is dethroned and the hardware is seized. But what exactly did the investigators find inside those hard drives? The boy was gone, but his ghosts remained. A computer never forgets, and data never lies. Every piece of plastic, every twisted wire, was a piece of the puzzle. They didn't just take his computers. Every piece of plastic, every twisted wire, was a piece of the puzzle. They didn't just take his computers. They took his entire brain. Years of digital hoarding, carefully preserved on stolen servers. The sheer volume of data was terrifying. Millions of lines of code. Billions of stolen secrets. Burner phones. Used once for a single illegal transaction, then tossed into a drawer like garbage. And then they found the wallets. Tiny pieces of metal holding millions of dollars in untraceable cryptocurrency. He thought his encryption was unbreakable, but time and a supercomputer can break almost anything. Private chat logs. Conversations about buying and selling identities like they were cheap trading cards. Every taunt he ever made. Every admin he ever mocked. It was all neatly categorized and tagged. The analysis was complete. The ghost was finally given a name, a face, and a very long list of crimes. This wasn't just a local crime. This was a global infection. The map lit up with victims from every corner of the earth. The evidence was damning, but taking down the kingpin leaves a massive empty throne. And the dark web hates a vacuum. What happens when you cut off the head of a digital snake? 2 more grow back in its place. The FBI thought they had won. The servers were seized. The king was in handcuffs. The site was dead. But they forgot one crucial rule. Information wants to be free. And greed never sleeps. Thousands of miles away, in a room the authorities didn't know existed, backup servers began to spin up. A new administrator stepped into the shadows. Someone who had been waiting patiently for the throne to empty. Within hours, the network was back online. Millions of users flocked back, eager to resume their trade. The new admin didn't hide. He immediately broadcasted a message to every user on the network. The message was simple, terrifying, and clear. You arrested a man. You didn't arrest the idea. Traffic spiked higher than ever before. The takedown hadn't destroyed the market. It acted as free advertising. The new king learned from the old king's mistakes. He burned the old bridges and built thicker, darker walls. The cycle of the underworld is endless. Law enforcement was right back to square one. A new hunt had just begun. It's a terrifying reality. As long as there is data to steal, there will always be someone waiting in the dark to steal it. Where does it end? To prove a point, the new admin didn't just quietly sell information. He wanted the world to watch it burn. He gathered the most sensitive data he could find. Millions of personal records, financial histories, private messages. And with a single keystroke, he gave it all away. For free. Terabytes of private lives were unleashed into the public domain. An avalanche of raw, unfiltered reality. Once the transfer was complete, the digital bomb had detonated. Now, it was time for the fallout. It started in the middle of the night. Phones buzzing on nightstands. Automated alerts from banks. Imagine waking up to find that your entire identity, your secrets, your finances, are suddenly public property. Corporate executives watched their company databases leak in real time. Millions in stock value, erased in minutes. By morning, it was global news. The largest unauthorized data release in history. Pure chaos. It wasn't about the money anymore. It was a message. A reminder that in the digital age, privacy is just a myth. The escalation changed everything. Law enforcement realized they weren't just fighting criminals, they were fighting an ideology. And ideologies are much harder to kill. You can't catch a digital ghost by kicking down physical doors. To catch a phantom, you have to build a better phantom. The escalation forced the world to unite. International task forces combined their resources in secret command centers. They stopped chasing the man and started hunting the infrastructure. They needed to map his entire network. They stopped chasing the man and started hunting the infrastructure. They needed to map his entire network. Instead of shutting down his servers, they injected custom code directly into the dark web's backbone. They cast a silent, invisible net across the globe. Now, they just had to wait for the fish to bite. Miles away, the new admin felt completely secure. He logged in to check his daily traffic, completely unaware. The moment he connected, the tracer activated. The invisible net pulled tight. Every keystroke, every private message, every hidden IP address began streaming directly back to the task force. The global map shrank down to a continent, then a country, then a city block. They were peeling back his digital mask. But these users are paranoid for a reason. A tiny delay in his connection. A microscopic error. He sensed the trap. He scrambled to disconnect. But he was 3 seconds too late. They had him. The digital hunt was over. The physical hunt was about to begin. But cornering a wild animal makes it incredibly dangerous. What does a cornered cybercriminal do when the countdown reaches 0? He burns his own kingdom to the ground. 3 seconds. That's all it took for the network to betray him. The warning flashed, and his blood ran cold. Millions of dollars, unreleased data, and stolen identities, shattered into pieces against the floorboards. He drowned the motherboard, a desperate, primitive defense against a highly advanced global task force. The heart of the new empire choked on the smoke, short-circuiting into total darkness. Heavy footsteps flooded the hallway. The shadows in his room were cut to pieces by blinding white light. The barrier broke. The anonymous ghost was suddenly dragged screaming into the light, kneeling in the ruins of his own making. The second king had officially fallen, kneeling in the ruins of his own making. The second king had officially fallen. They thought they finally won. They thought this was the end of the line. But the internet is a very dark place. 2 admins down, servers seized, evidence bagged. Is the story finally over? Or is the darkest chapter just about to begin? You can arrest the man. You can unplug the machines. But how exactly do you handcuff an idea? The evidence rooms are full. A graveyard of seized hardware, representing millions of stolen lives. 2 empires dismantled. The original kings of the underworld are now just numbers in a prison system. But the internet abhors a vacuum. When you cut off the head of a digital snake, 2 more grow back. Somewhere in the world, in a room just like the last one, a new user logs in. They learn from the mistakes of those who got caught. Better encryption, deeper shadows, no arrogance. Within minutes, the infrastructure is rebuilt. The market is open, and your data is back on sale. The game never stops. The players just changed their usernames. Welcome to the new era. You are not safe. This was the story of Pompompurin and the breach. But remember, your passwords, your bank accounts, your life. Survival instinct kicked in. A screwdriver against a SWAT team. The desperate logic of a cornered rat. But destroying the machine doesn't erase the man. And the flashing lights outside told him his time was completely up. This was the story of Pompompurin and the breach. But remember, your passwords, your bank accounts, your life are still out there. Stay vigilant, stay paranoid. Good night. All the arrogance, all the taunts, all the stolen money, it all disappeared the moment he raised his hands.